Hey everybody, please excuse the cat toys in the background, and if you can see the general mess you might not be able to over the gigantically chubby TV that we have. Got some news. We're moving house in approximately 7 days. We are moving into our own home that we have bought. Actually, well, the bank has bought because, you know, we have a mortgage and now we're adults and we have a mortgage. And oh, did I mention the fact that we have a mortgage? Actually, it's not that good because, you know, we're in debt for the rest of our lives and that's not that cool at all. So yeah, there is general mess everywhere at the moment. We are preparing to move house. We only found out on Wednesday night, so yeah. It's all a bit of a whirlwind of ridiculous excitement and absolute terror. So I'm going to do my Kevyn face routine. The eagle-eyed among you will have noticed that I'm wearing no makeup on my face right now. I kind of feel like Gollum. This is what I feel like when I'm not wearing makeup, which is kind of sad, I think, but this is what I call my Gollum face. You know, we've got the slightly bulbous eyes with the no concealer, and also please note I am not a magical unicorn that prances about and craps out antioxidants. I get spots, so that is what that is. Actually, those weren't technically spots until I picked at them and made them worse. So with that said, I'm going to get on with my face routine. So the first thing I start off with when I'm doing my Kevyn Sensual Skin Enhancer foundation routine, I tend to start as I get out of the shower with my Effaklar K. This is actually a daily renewals fluid for oily skin, and I'm pretty sure it's not a moisturiser. In fact, I think it's an exfoliant, a chemical one. But what it does is it gives my skin a kind of nice base to work off, and it stops my skin from drying out like a prune before I get to my foundation. So because I have to mix moisturiser with my foundation, I don't like to moisturise twice because I will just become this oily mess of gross. So here we go. I should actually tell you, this is kind of my daily makeup routine, my daily foundation routine. This is what I do on a day-to-day basis when I am, in the words of the Budweiser advert, what's up? This is the kind of routine that I do when I'm just kind of chilling at home, doing nothing in particular that's of any interest to anyone. Maybe I will be loafing in my pants and, you know, kind of thing. Next, I get my Embryolisse Shimmering Face and Body Moisturiser, and I will put about a pump on my hand. So this is quite a liquidy cream. It's really moisturising. It's good for drier skins, I think, but it works well on all skin types. It has fine shimmers in it, which gives you a really beautiful dewy effect when you use it under foundation. So I'm going to get my Kevyn Sensual Skin Enhancer. This is in SX02. And I'm going to get a cotton bud. Oh god, it's running all over my hands. This is a mess. I'm going to get a cotton bud. I'm going to take a small amount out. I use a cotton bud because it's easier to control how much I am using, because if I just dip my finger in it or my brush, I will get way too much. So a cotton bud kind of helps. Next thing I'm going to do is mix the two gloopy things on my hand to create one gloopy thing on my hand. So I'm using my e.l.f. Studio powder brush, which is the best brush in my opinion to apply this foundation, although when you mix it with moisturiser you do have to wash your brushes more often because it gets kind of gunky. And then I'm just going to successfully and winningly buff it onto my face. So I've gone for a kind of light medium coverage, I just want the basic gross bits covered up. The Kevyn Sensual Skin Enhancer works really well for people that like different types of coverage. So if you want a foundation that will do light, medium and full, this will be it, because you can mix it up basically however you want. Now the problem is that it is a bit faffy and you will never get exactly the same coverage twice unless you have like a little tiny measuring spoon and you're you know, basically an alchemist. So the next thing I'm going to do is do some concealer. So I'm just going to get a tiny bit on the other end of my cotton bud. Literally the smallest amount that you could possibly get well, that's probably not the smallest amount. I probably could have tried harder. Then I'm going to blend in some concealer. So first I'm going to apply it, so around my nose, here and here. If you're going to use this as a concealer, be aware that you don't need very much of it, and if you apply too much it will cake and you will look like a Madame Tussauds figure, so don't do that. Redness. Today I'm going to use this brand new spanky brush and then decide if I like it or not, and then inevitably probably put it down and just use my fingers anyway. But this is the Illamasqua blending brush number 2, I think. I can't remember, it's actually quite large. I'm really liking this brush actually. Just to warn you that today is going to be a massive Illamasqua love-in for brushes, because I think their brushes are amazing and I basically use them quite a lot. So next thing I'm going to do is do some contouring. For that I use my Illamasqua Cream Pigment in Hollow. This Cream Pigment in Hollow from Illamasqua is one of my favourite things to contour with, mainly because it's quite pale, it's quite cool toned, and it stays all day. You can see I've made a huge dip in it already. So I'm just going to get that on my Illamasqua highlighting brush. Yeah, I know, Illamasqua. I'm going to suck in my cheekbones and then attempt to recreate something like David Bowie's Ziggy Stardust era, and create something out of nothing. I've been eating too many donuts and put weight on in my face, so this is my way of fooling everybody, including myself, that I can eat more donuts. Like I'm 10 years younger. Next thing I need to do is do my eyebrows, and for that I'm going to use actually something which arrived yesterday, so this isn't part of my typical face routine, but I thought, you know, maybe do a demo. People have been after me to show you how I do my eyebrows for ages. I can't imagine why, because I'm hardly very good at it. I just kind of slap it on, and if it goes out of the lines I am usually okay with that, unless I'm going somewhere really fancy. So I'm going to use this waterproof eyebrow corrector from Makeup Forever. This is my new favourite thing, even though it arrived yesterday. I was so excited that I put it on straight away, and then halfway through the day I took it off and put it on again out of excitement. So I am going to put a dot on my hands. That's all I'm going to need pretty much. I got this kit from Makeup Forever, but I wouldn't necessarily suggest getting it because I think the brushes are actually a massive letdown to the product, so just use your own brush. So I'm just going to start in the middle, do really short strokes and fill my brows in. What's up, Frank? Honestly, I've never felt like I wanted to marry an eyebrow product, but I love this. This is amazing. The point of this product is that it's kind of like a cream product, and it's waterproof and stays on all day and looks amazing. So that's the reason I bought it. Ariane from The Glitter Geek, one of my favourite blogs to read, she bought it and she was going on and on about it on Twitter, as you do, and I had to buy it, and she was like, I'll do a review for you straight away, and then I couldn't wait and bought it anyway, and I'm glad I did. But if you want to see swatches of this product, because there's 4 different colours to choose from, then you should probably go to the blog post that I'll link below, which is Ariane's blog, because she has brilliant swatches. The next thing I'm going to do is apply some highlighter now that I've got my brows out the way. I'm going to apply the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector. So I'm just literally going to get my finger and apply some under my brow. Mainly because I am quite good at smearing it everywhere with my usual highlighting brush, so if I do it with my finger under my brow it works great. And then I'm going to get my other Illamasqua highlighting brush, and this one is colour coded, and I'm going to do this very professional bouncing motion, and I'm going to just brush that over my cheekbones. in that C-shaped motion that everyone tells you. Although if you're feeling nonconformist, you could do an X or a Q. Might look good. Never know. And this just gives a really, really subtle highlighting effect. I don't know if you can see it on my hands, but it's very pearlescent and beautiful. Next thing I'm going to do is apply some blush, I think. So I'm going to apply, usually I just apply what I'm in the mood for. Today I am in the mood for Illamasqua Naked Rose, so that's what I'm going to do. So Illamasqua powder brush, Illamasqua blush, just going to get a bit on. Dust it professionally into the apple of my cheek. Or onto, not into. Do it on the other side. I like this blush because you can apply pretty much quite a lot and it doesn't look like you've been sunburnt, slapped in the face, that kind of thing. It's just a very neutral, nudie pink, which looks great with pretty much everything. It looks great with natural looks, it looks great with heavy eye makeup, and I just like it. I just think it's great. So the next thing I'm going to do is apply some powder. I've actually packed my powder out of stupidity, but I can tell you that this is the Kryolan anti-shine powder in a travel jar. And this is the best oil reducing powder I've ever found. I've been using it for a couple of years now. The only thing is it can look ashy on darker skin tones, I imagine, and it's quite powdery, so it's not really like finely milled or smooth. It's almost got this gritty kind of feel to it. I'm going to get my Illamasqua powder brush because I'm going for the hat trick, and I'm just going to dust a bit over my face. Now if I'm using a foundation which is kind of long wearing, like MAC Pro Long Wear or Estee Lauder Double Wear, I would not powder my whole face because it grabs powder and makes you look like you've dipped your face in a barrel of chalk dust, and that's not sexy. But with a foundation like this, which is quite supple and moves around on the skin instead of just setting and sitting there, powder just really helps me to stop getting oil during the day. Got to move on to eyes. Next thing I'm going to do is get my Paintpots. Very exciting. Got to get those veins off my eyelids. Just going to apply that with a finger because I'm lazy. Basically mute out all the colour on my eyelid. It's like a magical eyelid eraser. I used to say rubber, but then people were like, you know what the word rubber means in America? Tee-hee! Go for. Next thing I'm going to do is get my Illamasqua Cream Pigment. This actually lasts pretty well on the eyes, so I've been using this as kind of an everyday look. I'm going to get the MAC 217, just blend that lightly into the crease of my eye. I like this because it gives a bit of definition, it warms up my eyes without being too overpowering, but it just gives a little bit of shadow and shade. You know, just defined and polished basically. Polished eyes. That sounds really wrong. I guess if you have a glass eye you might polish it. People polish their glass eyes? This is the subject of debate today. Although to be fair, I'm not sure I'd want to go up to someone with a glass eye and be like, excuse me sir, do you polish your glass eye? That's just wrong. I'm going to curl my eyelashes and put some mascara on. So I'm probably just going to cut this bit out because it's going to be so dull. Mascara is Blink and Go long-lasting black mascara. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put an eye primer on. I would have used the NARS Pro Prime if I had remembered. Last thing, anyway, is to put some lipstick on, and for during the day, if I'm just kind of staying in, because yes, I do wear lipstick inside, because I just kind of like choosing what I'm going to wear. I would probably go for either MAC Syrup, which looks amazing with kind of nude makeup. It just looks very simple, very plain, elegant. It's kind of a nothing, like you can always trust it to be decent. Or I will go for Catrice Spicy Coral. I think today I'm going to go for Catrice Spicy Coral because you've all seen me in syrup. It is discontinued, you can't get it. Lots of crying and histrionics. But it is the most beautiful shade, and I will make Catrice rue the day that they discontinued this. So that is that. I love Spicy Coral, as you can see, because it's kind of like a very sweet kind of watermelon-y colour. It's got some sheer gloss in it. It's just very, very pretty. So that is my whole daily makeup routine when I'm just sitting on the couch in my pants doing nothing. Literally just did that thing where I went back and added more blush and then regretted it instantly. So hopefully you enjoyed this. I will try and get some videos up before we move because I won't be able to upload for a couple of weeks after we've moved. And have a lovely day everybody, have a lovely weekend, and yeah, bye.